horse welfare advocate Simone Netherlands with us talking about horse slaughter and the fact that this must stop, depending on what view you take. Obviously, we're not positioning any view right here on the show from us, but I feel that it must stop, and I know many people feel that it must stop. There is both sides to this story, and there are people who look at this and see nothing wrong with what is going on. Simone, how did you get involved in this?
From being a horse trainer, I was actually oblivious to it, like a lot of people, for quite a while. And I learned about it only about 3.5 years ago. And actually from that moment on, I've been, my new cause in life is to stop horse slaughter.
It's appalling. These are beautiful, beautiful animals. And Canada and Mexico, tell us what happens to these horses.
Well, I'm not sure if there's kids watching or anything. They should probably go and play in another room, because even telling you what goes on is horrific.
The telling of it is hideous enough.
It's horrific. I mean, we can't even show footage of it on TV, because literally the audience would, it's heinous. The audience would just get sick from it. So the horrible part is, first of all, the transport there. Killer buyers are buying up healthy, fat horses all over the country. They even pretend to be, you know, good homes. You know, a lot of times there's ads in the paper that say free horses, and, you know, they're I mean,
before you get into what happens, and we will get there, talking about buying, these horses can be anywhere from overbreeding, former racehorse. Give us the categories these horses can fall in.
There's a whole bunch of reasons why horses end up in slaughter. Exactly like you said. I mean, horse slaughter promotes overbreeding. So many breeders are just breeding hundreds of horses, keeping maybe 3 or 4 of the winners with the right conformation.
If they don't turn out, then they go to slaughter.
Then they go to slaughter.
Exactly, and it's lucrative for them. It's a lucrative convenience, is what it is.
But again, it's hidden, so the average person, and that's why we appreciate you being on the show, I think they do need to know what happens, because that's the only way this is going to stop.
And back to the process.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, it's important that people know about this and that they feel that they can help do something about it. Yeah, the process of horse slaughter is not like the same process as cow slaughter. When you hit a cow in the head, he's unconscious for the rest of the slaughter process. When you hit a horse in the head, a horse has a lot of fear, so they usually move. So it takes 10 to 12 times before the horse actually is hit in the head. I mean, and most of the time they're not even unconscious by the time they get hung upside down by one leg and their throat gets slit. They start taking the skin off when the horse is still breathing.
And again, we caution, hopefully children are out of the room.
Right. I mean, it's barbaric, it's brutal, it's literally torture of the worst kind, and it's perfectly legal, unfortunately.
But what we were saying, and I think this is point spot on, is that if people actually visualize this, and Tanya, you said you've actually watched this, this would stop. It would stop if you saw this.
Yes, actually 80% of Americans are against it who know about it. But yeah, if we could only just put all the senators on a bus and stand there and have to be faced with the cruelty of it, I believe the
pro-lobbyists
people.
And pro-slaughter legislators claim that the slaughter of horses for human consumption is necessary. Why do they call it necessary?
Right. What they're claiming is that it's necessary because we have a unwanted horse problem. So they're promoting that we're only slaughtering unwanted horses, and that's why we need it. Well, this is purely a fabrication to desperately try to hang on to horse slaughter, because there's a lot of money involved in it. So they don't want to lose that option.
A lot of money being derived by, in what avenues?
What are they using the horses for, the slaughtered horses for?
Well, it is a delicacy in many countries. So Americans don't eat horse meat. So it gets shipped to countries like Belgium, France, Japan. And the more the demand for that horse meat is there, the more killer buyers are looking to buy up more American horses.
Wild horses are also involved in this, are they? Exactly. Are they not? What is their claim with the wild horses?
Exactly. Well, it's both domestic horses and wild horses, but unfortunately the BLM rounds up wild horses, then they try to adopt them out. If they don't get adopted out after 3 times, they can sell them to anybody, which is oftentimes killer buyers. Also, when a wild horse is rounded up and it's over 10 years old, they can just sell them outright to killer buyers.
Are you making any headway? Is the message hitting home with the country?
Well,
or people?
it's very difficult. It's so atrocious and it's so shocking that a lot of times there's people that are like, well, I don't like to hear about it. I don't want to know about it. It's too hard, and it is hard.
So I will
to hear
just
about
deny.
it. And a lot of people exactly would rather think, well, you know, I can't do anything about it, but people can do something about it.
Yeah, you rise up, and then like you're on this program, that's certainly getting the message out to thousands right now who could
awesome.
network with other thousands.
Right, exactly, and that's what it takes. I mean, it takes every person telling 10 other people and voting only for senators with humane voting records.
This is not to be confused with euthanasia.
Oh, exactly.
I think
I'm all for euthanasia.
Sometimes people get that confused.
Exactly.
They say, well, the horse is just being put down.
Exactly.
Well, the horse is not just being put down.
Well, let me tell you a story about a horse I just tried to rescue actually last week. This was a horse that was excellently trained. It was a quarter horse that had actually won a super slide event in California, and he made hundreds of thousands of dollars for his owner. Unfortunately, this horse became lame and was then sent to slaughter. You know, what makes me sick is that that horse won hundreds of thousands of dollars, and yet the difference for those owners to send that horse to slaughter is $300. And you would think that that horse had earned his own euthanasia.
Incredible. What were we just watching?
You know, well, this is what I do. It's called freedom training. It's a testament to the intelligence of a horse, really. I'm not the best trainer in the world. Neither is that the smartest horse in the world, but you can train any horse to be that willing, to be that, you know, loving, kind, and want to perform. And this horse has never felt the pain of the whip. I only train by reward, and it just shows how much horses want the love of people.
Now, Simone, real quickly, because we're running out of time.
You're headquartered where now? Where can they get a hold of you, and where do you do your work from?
Okay, well, I live in Prescott. My website is www.respectforhorses.com, and that's a number 4.
Yes.
And people can contact me as well, and what I would like for people to do is vote for the right senators. You know, vote for the right representatives. You can look up at humanevotersarizona.org.
Okay.
So it's humanevotersaz.org. You know, what kind of a voting record our senators and legislators have.
Former model?
Yes, a long time ago.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Great message, and hopefully it reached home. Thank you.
Okay, Chalka, stand up. Stand up. Good boy. Stand up. Good boy. So we want you today to stand up for horses. Call your senators, call your legislators, email them, fax them, write them. You can go to respectforhorses.com, where there's an example of a letter that you can write, because our government needs to know that America does not agree with the killing and torture of our American horses just because breeders want to continue to breed in America. Please ask them to support H.R. 503 and S 1579 and S 727. Thank you. Say yes, I'm a good boy. Yeah. Yeah, you're a good boy, huh?